if you're going to play, you need to take care of your body. One way to do that is to stretch. I'm going to go through how I stretch every day before I go play. All right, guys, let's do some stretching before we get started today. Make sure our body's in good shape. So I'm just going to take my toes and pull them back. Pull them up toward my knee, and I'm going to hold that for maybe like 30 seconds. And then I'm going to reverse that and pull my toes down. So I will cut that time short. So now I'm pulling them down the other way. If you're not used to doing this, that can be something you don't get very much of a stretch, but keep doing this. So start off with this. I'll get two hands and I'll just pull them back. And I do this every day, so no pain or anything, and I'm not really hurting. I'm just pulling these back with pretty good force. Loosen all this up in the bottom of my foot. And then again, I'm just going to grab this and pull my toes down. Now, as I'm doing this with my one hand, I'm taking my thumb in my other hand and kind of massaging the muscles on the bottom of that feet, making sure that there aren't any sore or tight points in here. Just going through that, working it from the balls of my feet, kind of all the way down to where my heel starts. We're going to do that on both. We're going to do that on both sides. All right, I'm going to take the other side, pull the toes up, can massage the bottom of my foot while I'm doing that. I usually take both hands, pull my toes up. I'm not sure why. It's just what I do. Hold that for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to change around, pull those toes down. While I'm pulling down, I'm going to massage the bottom of that foot. All of those muscles, make sure there's no tightness, no soreness in there. Just massaging the bottom of that foot. Hold that for about 30 seconds. All right, taking care of my toes, bottom of my feet. I'm going to start stretching now. So I'm going to take one foot, put it square, flush against the inside of my thigh. Reach down and grab my toe and pull and hold that for 30 seconds or a minute if you can. So if you can't reach all the way down here, if you just grab as far as you can, that's good. If that's how limber you are right now, start right there. You're going to take this other hand and put it on top, and you can feel a little bit of stretch in the upper back. So I'm stretching my hamstrings and the back of my leg, and I'm also stretching a little bit of my back. More advanced, and we start grabbing our toe, and then grab down as far as we can as we get more advanced. Still keeping this the hand that's not on the foot here on top, so I can get a little stretch in my back. So I can feel this in my inner thigh here as I've got the one leg on the inside of my thigh. Hold this for about 30 seconds or a minute. Ideally get up to a minute. We're just going to take time and relax and breathe. I'm going to feel the stretch a little bit. So I'm feeling it in my back, feeling it in the back of my leg, and relax. So I'm going to hold that for about a minute. I'm going to switch over sides now. Take my left foot, put the sole of my foot on the inside of my thigh. Again, stretching all in here. Same thing. So I'm going to reach down and start stretching. If this is as far as you can get, that's cool. Start there. Take your other hand, put it on top. Now I can feel that stretch in the middle of my back. As you get more and more limber, start to grab your toe, pull back on that. Again, this hand on top, as far as you can reach as you get more and more limber. Gonna go down here, just relax my head, put it between my arms. Just breathe and relax. Hold this for up to a minute. All right, this next section is maybe if you're a little bit more advanced and you've done this for a while, you want to get some extra stretching in the upper back and on the back, on the hamstrings and the back side of the legs, the calves, and the back of the knee. So you can skip this if you're not ready for this yet, but I'll walk through this and you can see what I do. So I'm going to grab both hands, going to grab both feet. So as far as you can, so if you got to start here, that's fine. Grab your toes. Eventually you just want to grab as far as you can grab. That's about as far as I can grab. So you're going to lean forward and hold this for about 30 seconds. All right, after that 30 seconds is over, I'm going to stay down. I'm just going to switch my hands and put them on the opposite foot, and this gives me a little bit of a different stretch. Again, I'm going to hold this for 30 seconds. This is the more advanced. If you want to skip over this section, feel free to do that. I'm going to be relaxed. Should feel some stretch in my upper back. Can definitely feel the difference now that my hands are crossed and I'm grabbing the opposite foot. All right, that 30 seconds is done. Now I'm going to work my hands down my feet. Again, a little bit more of an advanced stretch. Maybe you don't want to start here when you're just starting doing this. So each hand on both sides of the feet now instead of down over the top, trying to reach around the outside. And I'm going to hold this for about 20 seconds and then move my hands further down. And I'm just counting in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't have to be 20 seconds. You can come up with your own time. Once I get to about 20 seconds, and I'm going to move my fingers down a couple of inches, increase that stretch. So the longer we have done this, in this session, then the more flexible we get. I can feel this in the back of my knees. Gonna hold this for about 20 seconds, and then I'm gonna move down a couple more inches. So let's say that's 20. It wasn't, but it was close. And then I'm gonna hold this for the final 20 for a total of 1 minute, coming with my hands further and further down the outside of my feet. All right, next section in. So when we very first started and I was doing those toe grabs, I would have one foot on the inside of my thigh, and we did that on both sides. So now we're gonna put our soles of our feet together, pull those in as far as we can get, and then we're going to sit up straight with a straight back, grabbing my toes here, and I'm going to hold this for a minute. You might want to start off with 30 seconds, try and work up to a minute. Just going to feel the stretch inside of those inner thighs, trying to get everything nice and loose here. As always, I'm going to be as calm and relaxed as I can be and just breathe and just relax, counting my head up to that minute. As you come out of every one of those stretches, come out slowly, come out relaxed. Don't like burst out of that. Just kind of release things. Let your body kind of go back to its normal state. Don't be crazy when you're coming out of that. All right, so we're going to work on the next one here. So I'm going to take my left leg here, put it across my knee, take my left elbow and press against this knee. And I'm going to twist. I should feel this in my lower back. So I'm trying to look back that way, much as I can. So don't try and crank your neck too much. I've had neck problems and pain from weightlifting years ago. So I try and take care of my neck and not like force myself to turn and look too far. I don't want to do that. It's hard on my neck. So I'm just in this position. I'm trying to stretch my lower back now by this twisting motion. Pressing here with my elbow. My right elbow against the outside of my left knee. Just twisting, and I'm not really trying to keep my head too involved here. Hold that for 30 seconds or a minute. All right, time's up. We're just gonna go limp, relaxed, let everything unfold a little bit. We're gonna do the other side. So right foot on the outside of my left knee, left elbow here, and I'm gonna twist the other way. Try and keep your back straight up, vertical. Try not to crank your head too far around, but definitely twist. So I'm pushing with this elbow against this knee, and then with my right shoulder and my right hand, trying to turn as well, stretching that lower back, getting it loosened up. Hold this for about a minute. All right, good. We've got the lower back stretched pretty well. I'm gonna lay down on my back here. Let's see, I'm gonna take my left foot and put it on the outside and pull and get my hip flexors going. Now my wife tells me I do this wrong. I'm supposed to actually do it the other way with this foot on top and coming down. For me, it's not as good of a stretch. So I like taking this left foot, putting it on the outside of my right leg, and then going in this direction. And for me, it helps pull this right leg down and giving me more of a twist. And then as far as where these knees are, you can start to work these up higher and higher. Trying to take this right hand and just lay it on the floor. If it doesn't get all the way over, that's okay. Stretch the lower back a little bit. And I think the hip flexors. Hold this for about a minute. All right, we're gonna come out of this, bring our knees back up together. Take my right leg, put it on the outside of my left leg. Gonna go the other way. Trying to keep my left arm now down. My arm straight on the floor or flat on the floor if I can. And I'm using the weight of my top leg here to pull my, in this case, left leg down toward the floor, just that extra weight. Can work in bringing these knees up a little higher if I want. Trying to get a good stretch of those hip flexors and that lower back. Breathe and relax. Hold this for a minute. All right, we should have our lower back and our hip flexors all stretched, our legs all stretched. I'm going to focus on my core for a little bit. So two versions of this. I'm going to plank. So you can either start here in this position and just do a normal plank. If you get to where you can do this for like a minute or so, you can do the more advanced version, which I'm going to do now, which I'm going to roll from side to side and try to get 30 of these in. So here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh. So if you want to warm the core up, that's a really good way to do it. A little bit of workout. So what I want to do is roll over. Again, I'm just going to walk my feet up. I'm going to have them a little bit wide apart, and then I'm going to walk my hands back. Again, getting a good stretch on that inner thighs area. So if you want to go deeper, you can put your hands further back here. Be sure you have good balance so you don't fall over on your face or on your bum. So if you can only do this, or you can only do that, or your feet are not as far apart, that's all cool. Just trying to get some stretch on those inner thighs. Don't overdo this, don't pull anything. I'm not a doctor on TV, I'm not a medical professional. Just showing you what I do. Hold this for about a minute if you can, 30 seconds, 45, or a minute. When you get done, then going to walk our hands forward a little bit, and then start to move our feet together. Get our feet together, and then we're going to roll up and roll that spine up. Let's go do some shoulders. All right, let's stretch those shoulders a little bit. Start off with my left arm. I'm just going to straight up the wall here. Press my chest against the wall. Trying to loosen up that left shoulder. Hold this for about 30 seconds. And take my left arm and put it out horizontal, straight like this. Take my right hand here and press. And I'm just going to press my shoulder into the wall and pull this shoulder back. I'm pushing with this hand to get some pressure on my shoulder, loosen it up a little bit. Hold that for about 30 seconds. All right, going to work on my right shoulder, reaching up the wall here, pressing my armpit into the wall, my chest into the wall. Just trying to get a good stretch on that right shoulder. Hold that for about 30 seconds. Take my hand horizontally here with my shoulder. I'm going to push my shoulder into the wall. Use my left hand and push back a little bit. Just get a little bit more stretch on that shoulder. Going to work on the forearm. If you have tennis elbow, do this. I have a separate video. I'll put a link in the description box below about how to rehab if you have elbow pain. We're going to start off with the palm. I've got a padded wall here. If you want to just start off, I'm going to put my fingers straight down, push in with my arm and shoulder, and try and press the palm of my hand against this wall. Now as you get more stretch and looser, you can lift this higher, a little bit more advanced. So if I go all the way up here and I press, then that will give me a good stretch on these muscles and tendons inside my forearm. Help alleviate some of those tennis elbow problems. Hold that for 30 seconds or a minute. If you need additional support, you can take this free hand, grab that wrist so you have better balance and you can control how hard you're pressing in. So if you need a little bit extra support, use that free hand and grab around your wrist and give yourself some extra support. Second stretch then for this tennis elbow is we're going to take this and do it the other way. So instead of having my palm facing, I'm going to have the back of my hand facing, and I'm going to press in a little bit, and this is going to stretch around the wrist and also the muscles and tendons. If I need extra support, I can do this. Grab it with my other hand. Now a more advanced version of this is I'm going to take my fingers and rotate them 90 degrees. So now they're facing off to the right. Same thing, I'm still pressing forward. If I need extra assistance, I can use my free hand there, pressing in. Hold this for about 30 seconds or a minute. Should feel these muscles and tendons in your forearm being stretched. As always, don't overdo it. Breathe, be nice and relaxed. Last one, we're going to work the shoulders. So when you're playing, either you're drilling or you're playing, you should be swinging using your shoulder mainly and not your bicep. Shouldn't be doing this. You should be using your shoulder to swing more. We want to take care of our shoulders, so we're going to do dead hangs to get good stretches in our shoulders. It'll also work on our grips a little bit as well. If your facility has a high bar that you can hang from, that's good. If you're just starting, you may want a stool or a block of some type that allows you to support part of your body weight. As you do this and you get stronger and stronger, eventually we would just want a free hang with no weight and no support. But if you're just starting and your grip strength is not quite there yet, you may want to support part of your weight with your feet on that block or that low chair, so you don't have as much pressure on your hands. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab this bar, take my time and get a good grip. If you have any rings, you might want to take those off your fingers if they're going to be in the way. Get a good grip, and I'm just going to slowly drop down into a good relaxed position and hang. If I'm starting, I may want to keep my feet on the floor and support part of my weight so I don't have to hold my entire weight up with my grip. Over time then, you want to lift your feet up off the floor and support your full body weight. Be relaxed here, fully extended, counting your head up to 30. Now when you get there, you want to come out, both feet on the floor, not just one. And we want to come out of this slowly, making sure that we don't come out in some weird position. We want both feet on the floor while balanced to come up and out of that dead hang. Try and do that 4 different times. So do a dead hang for 30 seconds. Take a break, a couple minutes if you need it. Go back and do it again. Do that 4 times. That's it for the stretching. I feel my body is limber now, good and stretched. I'm ready to go. I'll go play or I'll go drill.